Okay, this is episode 21, and I'm actually, this is going to be, no, obviously it follows 20. Obviously it follows 20, but,
Asians are good at names.
yeah. We got, how come we didn't do our Jeremy Lin thing?
I was just thinking that.
Ready? Is it that one? I thought that he opens the book first.
And then they flips through it.
Goggle.
And then they take it off.
And then pocket protector.
Yeah. Next time.
Next time. See, we're totally bandwagon. Alright, so we did closing the gap last time, and now we basically talked about how to attack. I think we talked about POC and LOP, okay? So now let's work on actually trying to block that. Okay. And by the way, I got a complaint that I'm putting my hands in my pocket. Yeah. Alright, whatever. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's do some closing the gap stuff. So it goes synonymous with what we're particularly doing. There's basically two ways. When Robert does POCs out, let's go over the attack first. He does basic POCs out. I play dummy and he goes for the attack. Eventually, when he gets to the point where he's gotten comfortable closing the gap, we're going to work on two blocks. Now there's basically two blocks to deal with this. The first block is when he POC punches. I'm here and I times out position. Okay. The second block, dealing with the POC punch, is here. I'm here and I block. POCs out. All right. Now there's two concepts involved with this particular block. The first one basically has to deal with this. When he POCs my hand, I'm learning what the main thing I'm trying to develop is here is when he deals with when he POCs, I'm trying to what? Dissolve the force of this one when he does the punch. In the second one, different. When this hand is dealt with, I use the free hand to deal with the attack. So two things you're trying to deal with in that situation. Same attack. One, dissolve the main hand. Two, use the free hand. Okay? So let's talk a little bit about detail as far as how to actually pull this off. First of all, dealing with the POC punch. When he comes into POC punch, don't anticipate the motion first. A lot of times you see this. He POC punches and you basically are guessing to say, oh, the attack's coming through, I'm going to do Tanza. Well, obviously he's going to do POC punch because you already know that. And what you want to do is you don't want to anticipate when the force is coming. You want to actually let the force come in and then you actually deal with the force. Okay? So number one no-no is this. He's here, I see the attack, whoop, Tanza, and I jump the gun. That way you're just a trained dog. You don't want to go that route. Okay? So in order to pull out the Tanza, when he POC punches, the normal reaction that most people have is they stiffen up. And the reason you stiffen up, or it's either one or the other. You either stiffen up or you collapse. In other words, I stiffen up and I try to force the Tanza out, or I don't have the right tension, I collapse and I'm try to regain the Tanza back in. You just have to find a fine balance between both and get the correct tension in order to apply it. So when he does the POC punch, notice the POC's here. I let that come in. Notice it actually adjusts me and forces me to move back. And I basically brace. Now, what a lot of people try to do is they try to have the Tanza out already. They're here and they're trying to tan right away. I'm not worried about that. What I want to make sure is the tan. Remember the main simple rule. I want to touch to apply the technique. So I'm not trying to do Tanza on his POC hand. When he POCs my hand, I'm not going to tan and he punches and my tan's already there. If that's the case, that's no good. Alright? What I want to do is, when he POCs my hand, notice he moves my hand and my body reacts from this. This hand is still in my center. Okay? Now I basically go with the force here, and then when it's coming to this point, notice his hand just touches now. My hand reacting and springing back from that force. That's when I actually set in place and put in the Tanza. That's a very simple way to look at it, but that's a good way to handle it in the very beginning. Okay? Right? So again, he does this, POC, boom, and he punches, punch, then that's when I actually apply the tan. Right? I want the drilling motion to come here in order for my hand to become the Tanza. I don't want to be preset where he POCs and he's already running into my Tanza already, and that's too late. I want to touch and then drill into Tanza, or basically he's actually creating the block for me. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. That's very key. The Tanza, people have the Tanza looks simple to apply, but I tell you, it takes a while to actually develop that and do it properly. So look over here, like for example, there's many ways to screw this up. You pock punches, just pock punches, don't worry about it. Pock punch. See, a lot of muscle in there, a lot of the collapse in there. You just want to get it nice and smooth, let the force come in, see, nice and smooth in here. Now, when the Tanza comes out, you want to make sure this hand, this is the attack line. You want to make sure the attack line is offline. Alright, because what happens, I clear this line, the attack line is clear with my block line. Now I'm clear to actually punch if I wanted to, but I'm not too concerned with that. I'm worried only about the block. But make sure you don't block past the point. Here's his shoulder, that's too much. I'm within the shoulder area, that's still good. Okay, so from here I can basically attack or whatever from that point. But right now, concentrate on the block. The second one is dealing with why do we do Pak Sao? Well, if he comes in and he does Pak punch to where I can't handle it, like for example, he Pak punches and I'm here, and I'm already, either I broke in place, my structure collapsed, or it's so strong I can't come back and do the time. Well, that's why you have the free hand. And that's why you have a lot of emphasis on the wusa. So for example, he Pak punches and he crashes it. If you don't have your wusa, you're toast. That's why you remember, you have to look at everything we do in Wing Chun as two hands. So in this particular position, when he comes in, so strong he comes in, guess what? Well, I don't have to worry. I'm here, he comes into this position and my Pak deals with it. Okay, see how he basically forces one hand to squeeze in and the other hand to replace. Okay? Now let that force actually make the change for you. Alright, make that force actually change. So in other words, same thing as I said before, don't anticipate it. In other words, he's here, I feel this force, and I change to Pak Sao right away. Alright? I don't want to do that. I want to have the structure here. He comes into me, and then he forces the change upon the situation. Alright, go slow for a second, Robert. Look from here, see how my hand doesn't just collapse? He's pushing, he pushes, push, and look, he's actually forcing me to turn into Pak. Alright? Why am I not worried about him punching through that? Because my hands are covering my center every single time. In other words, he has to come into my house. This is my house. So when he moves this point out of the way, guess what? He moves the first guess out of the way, I'm greeting him right here. Right away. Okay? So look right here. Pak punch, he paks, boom. And then my Pak Sao's right there. And then from here I have clear line again to do attack either side. Okay, so that's the main thing. We'll go over Bang Sao probably in the next episode, episode 22. But really, concentrate on those aspects of learning how to block it. One, dissolve the main force coming with the front hand, and two, make sure you have the free hand to be active at that point. Seems like simple drill, but I tell you, this is really the skill to get it done correctly. Requires a lot. Okay, hopefully that helps and get better.